Hey guys, Cyclone. I'm doing a very quick update, archive, if you will, to a beer that I've had four times now. And I want to just confirm that this beer is in like my top three Imperial stouts, Russian Imperial stouts, as of right now. And this bottle, I know a store that has this beer, this vintage, this bottle. And I've been able to have it four times over the past, I want to say close to 2 years now. First time I had it was at least a year ago. I think it's a year or 2 years ago. I've had this beer, and now we're approaching the plus 4 year mark in cellaring. This beer is outstanding. This is the Cisco Brewery, 2015 Russian Imperial Stout, a 13%er. I do not have information on it being barrel aged, guys. Brewed and bottled. You can beer the number of styles. Okay. So again, this is one of their premier projects, so to speak, a limited release beer, and it shows. It's a $13 bottle for a 13% 1 pint 94 fluid ounce, or 9.4 fluid ounce, so almost a 2 pint bottle. It's a good deal. It's priced to reflect what it is. It's not barrel aged, but it has so much wood and smokiness on there, you'd be shocked to think it wasn't barrel aged. The chocolate, the roasted malts, the woodiness, the slight smoke that's dancing in there. But the really crazy thing, especially this time enjoying it, it's so smooth. We're talking, it's like a 7.5%er, maybe an 8%er, and it's actually a 13%er. That's the power of cellaring. And really, when you get these big Russian Imperials, larger bottles, put them in your fridge for a couple of years. You're going to get a better beer more often than not, as long as you don't, move it somewhere, or just keep it in the fridge, put it on the shelf, let it sit for a couple years. Very simple. The smoothness is unreal. That's a bomber, man. That's outstanding. So good. Not super complex. It's done correctly. The back of my mouth is smoky, chocolatey. That wood taste. That wood taste is what I really love about this beer. It's the roasted profile that I really enjoy. It's not barrel aged, but it has this smoked wood character, like they threw smoked wood into the container, which is normally a way they save money on a barrel aged beer. But if they're doing that to a non barrel aged beer, and then not advertising it that way, like being honest, then I have absolutely no problem. And in fact, what the product that I have here is, I appreciate it more because it is not priced or advertised as a barrel-aged beer, but it has that level. It's almost like birchwood. I wouldn't want to call it oak, which is common in the bourbon barrel business, like oak barrels. Maple barrel sometimes, but I would actually probably say more akin to a smoked maple wood than an oak. That's kind of what I get. Could be cedar. I mean, it could be cedar. I don't know, but there's something to this malt profile that is ridiculous. And if there is no wood in the brewing process, then I'm really amazed as to what malts they're using, because that's what's giving us that smokiness. That's awesome. That's delicious. In the category, it gets a 10. And in my... again, I just told you, it's like on the top three Russian Imperials I've ever had. This is better than any Clown Shoes Russian Imperial I've ever had. It's better than Founders. I'm thinking of the categories as well. I don't have Russian Imperials all that often. The ones I have had, you take your more commercial offerings like Old Rasputin. This goes into another realm beyond Old Rasputin. Old Rasputin's a fine beer to get started. Don't get me wrong. It was one of the first Russian Imperials I ever had, and it was great. And it's still a respectable beer, but this is a whole different level. We're at 13%. You get that. The mouthfeel is decadent when it's been cellared. Velvety, not syrupy, but velvety. It's very smooth. I love that beer. I think it's a 10 on my scale too. I love that aftertaste, man. Chocolate covered wood. It's exactly a chocolate covered wood. Perfect for when it's starting to get colder outside and you want to just stay in and relax. Even though I have to worry about work, which is also one of the reasons why I'm drinking this, to relax before I have to get to the grindstone. You know what I'm saying? Friggin' awesome. It's a 10 in the style and a 10 on my personal. And that's with cellaring. So you got to put the C next to the score. Don't drink these beers fresh. I will be a huge proponent. Coffee stouts. Stouts with a sugar component like maple syrup. And IPAs. You drink them fresh within the first month if you can. A Russian Imperial that is not barrel aged at 13%. Cellar it. It's a lesson to everyone who's getting into beer. Cellar a beer like this. You will not be disappointed for waiting. Anyway, guys, Cyclone signing out. See you around.